Hey guys, come with me to meet my lovely subscribers who purchased a home they saw on my YouTube channel and have relocated from America to Ghana. Let's get to know about their journey. What were the challenges? What were the things they did to make the process as smooth as possible? And what has their experience been like? Did Ghana meet their expectations? Let's find out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. So what did you do once you decided, we're going to move eventually?
But let me tell you, this is the toughest thing for an American to get.
We do have to learn. We have patience before, but this is a different level. This is a different level here, right?
This is actually exactly how we were living in New York. Right. Americans need to be convinced that everything is here.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. So guess what? I am off to go and meet my subscribers. So these lovely subscribers apparently bought a home I showcased on my YouTube. Crazy to me, sometimes I underestimate my influence on YouTube. But anyway, you guys know I always bring legit stuff, so it makes sense that they went ahead to purchase a home here. So I'm gonna go meet them and go have a discussion with them about their transition into Ghana. They're from America, so they're African Americans. Yeah, we're gonna get to know them a little bit. So yeah, let's go. I've got Dale and I've got Deisa here with me. So they've moved from the US about 3 months ago to Ghana. It's crazy because when I spoke to Dale, I just assumed you guys had been here for like a year or something. Because you feel like you've stepped in quite
Everyone says that.
So 3 months is not very long. Like I want to know what the transition has been like for you, because there's several people that want to do what you guys have done, and it's not an easy thing to do as such. So I'm curious, like, what initially got you to make the decision to move here in the first place?
Well, he always looks at me because it was usually I kind of started the ball rolling on this.
She was plotting behind my back.
I wasn't plotting, but I had always wanted to come to Ghana. And I also knew that I didn't want to work until I was like in America till 62, 65 to retire.
Right. Yeah.
And so last year we decided to make a trip and come to Ghana. The only reason he would agree to come to Ghana is if we came potentially to look around as though we were going to live here. Okay. So it wasn't going to Cape Coast, it wasn't going to Kumasi, it was let's see what it's like to live here, let's see what the supermarkets are like, what is it like to drive here, what are the local things like. Yeah. So we came here, we looked at a lot of properties, we met some people. And after I think maybe this third day, we said we can move here.
Wow.
And we decided we'd come in about 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
So we fell in love with it so much, we went home. Every day we would discuss, okay, maybe 5 years. And then it just kept getting shorter and shorter. And I think by October, which is maybe a month after we came back, we said, we're moving next year. And that was it. It wasn't a really hard decision
to make.
What
about that experience made you make that decision so quickly?
Well, for me, I'm from Guyana, which is in South America. Okay. And coming to Ghana, I felt like I was actually going to Guyana as well. Yeah. There's so many similarities just in how the people are, how friendly they are, how they look.
Yeah.
The countryside, the weather, the foods are very similar as well.
Okay.
So it just seemed like, I can be here without any issues. So
that's her front-facing explanation.
Okay.
The behind-the-scenes explanation was she was burnt out at work. Daisy's a pharmacist.
Okay.
And she was working at one of the biggest hospitals in New York City, managing a lot of people. COVID had just started. And that was a lot of pressure on New York City. We were the first state to get hit in America. Trump was acting a fool and energizing all of the crazies in America. And we just went through that trio of murders, George Floyd, Breonna, and Aubrey. And all of those things together came together at a time when she was burnt out for her to just say, we can't do this forever. And so that was the background explanation.
I was going to get to that.
I think that's people can relate to that a lot, because there's people that are feeling that same way but probably don't even know what the next step is. So I mean, you guys making that decision so quickly, it's pretty amazing.
Well, Ghana being safe, as they call it, quote unquote safe, had really also helped with knowing that we would be okay here. I mean, I've seen videos that you've done. You're going out to night markets and here and there, and you're like, oh, I feel very comfortable here. You know, and as a local, that helps me to feel, you know, comforted as well. So he did say the right things, like that was the background reason. But, you know, I just wanted to also, you know, give you that good feeling that I felt that would,
when
you know,
came here.
exactly.
So what did you do once you decided, you know, we're going to move eventually? What was the next steps for you?
It was to pick a neighborhood to live in, and then strategize a plan to dissect ourselves from work, because, you know, at certain levels of wherever you are, whatever you're working on, wherever you're working at, you just can't quit in 2 weeks. So I had projects where I had to use like 8 months to separate from. Dacia gave a lot of time. And so it was planning on how to extract ourselves from America. And also because we knew we were going to ship our entire apartment, that's not a quick plan either. Starting from scratch, getting a shipping container from New York to Ghana, that took a lot of time. So.
And Dale, we've spoken a lot about how Deisa felt in terms of, you know, the reasoning why she wanted to move here, but you haven't said much about what sparked your interest into Ghana and why you decided to tag along and come with her.
Well, it was weird because I was born and raised in New York. Never thought I would ever leave New York. Had zero plans to leave New York. Love New York. But I'm a practical, realistic person. And if you present something to me that makes sense, I'll adopt it, right? And so when Dacia came to me with the idea, I was a little hesitant at first, but once you start evaluating what the move would be like, and then comparing it to where you're moving from, it just became evident and obvious. And like, as her husband, who's concerned about her safety, things were getting a little dicier than normal in New York City. Gun violence, random shootings, accidental shootings. So you could be in a safe part of New York, out at a fancy restaurant, and be the victim of an accidental shooting. And so when we came back in April to secure our housing, there was a mass shooting on our subway line back at home. Something that had never been done. A crazy shooting up a New York City subway. And so we were like, so safety for her was a big thing for me. But then as I started unraveling the potential of Ghana, other things became obvious. And so like, as people coming here later in life, we saw the value that our dollar had in terms of affordability. Other ideas that I had where we could demonstrate as models ourselves of what people who are in America who might be on the fence about what they want to do in their next chapter, because she would always call this part of her life chapter 2.
Act 2.
Act 2. And so we said, okay, let's go over there and settle in and demonstrate what life could be like. And so none of the things that I thought about individually were enough to make you move to another country. But collectively, it was an easy decision when you consider everything together.
Awesome. Did you have any ideas of what to expect before you came here, and has it met those expectations?
I would say for me, I've always been a little on edge in terms of, you know, driving.
Yeah.
So driving, although I don't currently drive like on the highways or anything, I do
Okay.
drive, maybe 1 or 2 blocks.
Right.
I'm a little edgier because in Ghana, like,
Yeah.
it's a little different in terms of how
Definitely.
people drive, how they signal, how they communicate,
Yeah.
the speed
Yeah.
or lack thereof, the piling of tires
Yes.
and mattresses
Yeah.
and the big trucks.
That's
like
right.
that
Just
took a little bit
pedestrians
of
walking everywhere. Yeah.
right. So for me, that was a bit of a something that I'm still really getting used to.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I knew that it was going to be this way.
Yeah.
But it didn't sway me in any way. It just
Right.
makes me a little bit more cautious.
Cautious.
But other than that, the weather has been surprisingly, actually up where we are is pretty cool.
It
It's
is
not
actually,
very
breezy up here.
hot.
Yeah.
The food has been something that we can acclimate to. It's very easy to cook and find the things that I need
Yeah.
because I'm a Caribbean background, so everything here is very familiar.
Yeah. What have you had since being here?
Pretty much everything. A drink called asana, which was something that was
Asana,
new to me.
yeah.
Sobolo,
Yeah.
which is similar to something we have in the Caribbean called saril.
Okay.
Brofut,
Brofut.
which is similar to we call it Johnny cake or bakes.
Okay.
Something. So transitioning for the food has been actually pretty. Yeah, it's been pretty easy, and the drinks and all of that has been
Yeah.
pretty easy. We do have to learn. We have patience before, but. Whew, this is a different level. This is a different level here, right here. You think you're gonna go. Oh, we're gonna do this today.
Yeah.
Oh, and then this, and then this. You're like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
We limit ourselves to
Yeah,
one
just
thing a
one-
day.
yeah.
And then we've gotten better depending on what you choose. You can do 2 or 3 things.
Yeah,
but
good.
that I had to get used to because we're
Yeah.
used to just
Go.
exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, I kind of expected it, but I think we're acclimating to it pretty well.
Well, for me, I had zero expectations because I think, and maybe you've even seen some of these stories on YouTube, but I think people get into trouble when they come here with a set of expectations, things don't meet the expectations, and then frustration sets in. And then a lot of people end up running back home.
Yeah.
And so I said, rather than come here with expecting anything, just come here with the blank canvas, see what the rules are, see what the culture is, see what the pace is, and then learn how to be here.
Yeah.
And so, because that's how I operate, I had zero problems, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best way to go, I think. So have you had any major challenges since being here? No?
Challenges, I can't say, well, I think it's fair to say, at least this is just my personal opinion, that there's a saying back in America that the answer to 99 out of 100 questions is money.
Okay.
And so I believe that depending on how you prepare financially before you set foot here will determine the spectrum of challenges you have.
Yeah.
And so I see a lot of people with a lot of challenges who came here with $2,000 in the bank, no game plan, no income, no savings, no home secured, and they're figuring out where to live, and they're figuring out how to deal with Ghana things like blackouts and etc. And it's a nightmare for them. But she's a super planner. She's frugal. Say that with love. And back in the States, I'm an investment professional.
Okay.
So we're always going to make practical money decisions. And I think because we came over here with that part solved,
Yeah.
it got rid of 85% of the challenges that people do have when they get over here.
Come here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's amazing. I think this is a story people need to hear about it. I think sometimes people make things seem more complicated than they actually are. So hearing that, I mean, although you had little challenges here and there, generally it seems like it was a very smooth process for you guys. So people hearing that, I think it's gonna like spark some kind of desire to follow through with their plans or dreams to move here eventually.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And, relying on connections, which I didn't do as much as I should have. I did meet quite a few people, on a Facebook group I was in, and even some people when we came the first time. And if I had leveraged them a little bit more when I came here, then maybe certain things may not have taken as long.
Yeah.
But I don't like to bother people. You know, I don't say, oh,
She's
can
specifically talking about.
Oh, gosh.
I'm gonna
Outing
name
me
names
on everything.
because this is the thing. We've run into a lot of people. We were surprised to know that a lot of people that we knew in the States had moved here before us, and we didn't even know.
Yeah.
And when we got here, we found out.
Okay.
And so then we started all comparing notes on things that each of us had to get individually.
Right.
A residency permit.
Residency.
And you wouldn't know this because you don't have an issue. You're right?
Yes.
But let me tell you, this is the toughest thing for an American to get.
Okay.
And so we're all comparing notes on how did you get your permit? Who did you have to know? What donation did you have to make to expedite it?
Yeah.
And so because we basically did it the super legit way, it took forever. And we actually did all the things that nobody else did.
Yeah. And that's something you learn in Ghana as well. Like, if you do it the legitimate way,
right.
that's the longest.
But
longest.
she's a law-abiding citizen. That's her problem.
I like to follow I like to do
follow
things the right
rules.
way.
Yes.
So if you want to get it the right way, we can help you. If you want to get it the fast way, there are other people who can.
We don't know that way.
Have you guys made many connections since being here?
Ooh. Ooh.
So
This is a running joke.
So this is the issue. On our YouTube channel, I tell our watchers, if you're ever in Ghana, call us and come over for lunch or dinner.
And they do.
And they do. And so we have so many people that we would have never met in the States
Okay.
that are actually part Ghanaian or Ghanaian connected
Right.
somehow. And so we've met a lot of those, or people who've actually come back,
Okay.
Ghanaians who've come back home.
Yeah.
So we've met a lot of people like that. But also the expat community here is pretty active. There's a lot of events that different expat groups hold.
Okay.
And then it's just very natural to connect to some of them because you went through the same stuff. And then, we get to meet some native Ghana citizens.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah, so the calendar is always booked. He'll
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
oh, Daisy, we have so-and-so coming on Tuesday.
yeah.
We have so-and-so coming on Saturday.
Like
So I'm constantly cooking.
like
But it's been really nice
Yeah,
to
that's
meet
good.
people. But with meeting the people too, we get to travel to different parts. Like we've been to Pram, we've been up north
Yeah.
to Abri,
Yeah.
So with that comes a lot of exploration as well.
yeah,
So that's
sure.
been really, really nice
Yeah.
because we haven't explored Ghana, honestly, yet.
Right.
We are getting our surroundings together and all of the paperwork, which kind of just finished last week
Okay.
or 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So after that, we're going to start to venture out a little bit more to
Okay.
see Ghana.
So you guys said you had to find a place to live, obviously. What was that process like for you before you finally settled on this place?
Well, I actually did a lot of the research for the home because I watch a lot of YouTube. I watched a lot of influencers, and as they go to places, if I'm interested, I'll just look it up or, and then research the property. So when we were coming here for the first time in September, I had a list of places to go, some investment properties, some townhomes, some apartments, some condo.
detached, semi-detached.
Yeah. And most of them within communities because as coming from, the U.S., somewhere completely new to you, you wanted still feel
Yes.
security. Even though it said Ghana was safe, I still wanted something that I felt, So we had a few choices. We visited them the days that we were here. And on that trip is when we were, I guess, 80% knew exactly which place we were going to live.
Right.
I was communicating with a couple of agents over the 6 months prior to us coming here, asking them questions, looking at the bill, looking at the foundation, looking at all the projects that they had. So I had a lot of communication going on.
Right.
And just based on, what this certain place was offering, we decided to come here.
This one.
Yeah.
Plus, it was important for us to know that we wanted to live like we were already living in New York City. So, most people that you see on YouTube coming here, They want to go the traditional route. They want to buy the land, touch the land, taste the dirt, and then build. We're not those people. And so it's important to know what kind of people you are. So even in New York City, before we started dating, Deisa owned a big home. I owned a brownstone at one point. And when we came together, we admitted to ourselves that we were apartment people. And so comfort for us was replicating what was comfortable back home. And so that kind of narrowed things down as well. I'd always tell this to people who are asking us, as an American going to, it could have been Mars, as far as we know. It was going to be such a strange thing, we thought. You have to do different things and use different techniques to de-risk your situation. Because as you know, Ghana, unfortunately, is known for, in real estate, certain culprits, selling the same piece of land or the same property on many occasions, people who have no authority to sell something, selling something. And so we were well aware of this. And so in order to remove the risk that we could, we went with, we looked at who was financing certain properties, who had vetted certain properties, and so we actually used a company that you're familiar with. So I think it's important for people to know that, there are certain things that you can do from America to de-risk what might feel like a very nerve-wracking process.
This place was close enough to Accra, Osu, Labone cantonment, if you want a certain different vibe. But then you're kind of more residential here. Because I always joke, I say if we lived anywhere in like East Legon
I
would have no money.
We'd be broken fat.
Because every day there's a new restaurant opening in Ghana, in Osu. I mean,
this is actually this is actually exactly how we were living in New York. Brooklyn was X amount of minutes from the center of everything happening. Enough things in Brooklyn, but if you needed to get to the city, you could get to the city.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing here.
Well, I think that's all my 101 questions to you. So if people want to reach out to you, if they want to find your YouTube channel, can you share what your YouTube channel is and how people can contact you if they have questions or they need help with different things? They want to do what you guys have done.
Sure.
Yeah, so the name of the channel is Off the Wheel.
Okay.
And Deisa had come up with the name because in America, we're hustling on that wheel and in New York City, even more so than anywhere else in America, we're on the wheel. And we were on the wheel. And so when Deisa had come up with the idea, because she didn't want to work like a dog and limp across the finish line like we're taught to. That's what you're taught. Go to school, work hard, get yourself into debt with a lot of different things, card debt, house debt, credit cards, timeshare, everything. And then work that wheel and then hope that you've made enough proper decisions sometime at age 60 plus. And Deisa said she didn't want to work past 50.
I haven't turned 50 yet. I'm still 40. I'm kidding. I'm 50.
And so that is what prompted us. So now we have a membership group that is called Off the Wheel. We just want to lead by example to show people that they can reimagine a new life. So they can reach us either at offthewheel.info, find out what we're doing, or on Instagram, or our YouTube channel, Off the Wheel. Okay. This is our living room. Shipped all of our stuff. Deisa was really happy to get some of her paintings shipped. She bought those in one of the Carolinas a long time ago. And so we've been really connected to some of our artwork. And so when people say, well, why did you spend the money to move a container here? But some things, big things, were so heartfelt, connected, attached to, we have to spend money. So like, for example, this here, is from far away, it's like a beautiful, colorful thing, but it's actually a picture of a cotton field with slaves, where my mother used to pick cotton as a kid. And then she came to the north for better opportunities, and then her sisters came, and all of our cousins were first generation graduates. So this was important. I used to have it over my office, and the fact that it made its way back to Ghana, where, you didn't know this, we did a DNA test. She's traced back to Cameroon, I'm traced to Ghana. And so this came back home, this painting. Anyway, so here we have the kitchen. And
You have used the space very well. I love how that's there. So there's still a little room around here.
if, feel free to eat something. Have a little laundry room in here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Did that come from overseas?
Yes,
as well?
that is from the Dominican Republic.
Our first,
Yeah.
because we went like
Our
10
first
years in a
trip.
row, our first trip, we bought that painting.
Oh, okay.
And so it followed us to different apartments.
Yeah, and it's here in Ghana.
It's here in Ghana now.
Yeah.
This is a balcony where Deisa is going to grow vegetables and all kinds of things. Yeah.
I've just started, so I have babies growing outside now. Yeah.
What have you got?
I have some peas, I have tomatoes,
Okay.
garlic. The peppers didn't do so well,
Okay.
and a couple of flowering plants. So
Did you get the seeds over here?
Yes,
You
yes,
did?
yes, I did.
Okay.
This is our guest room in here.
Okay. Lovely. Those baskets must have been from here though.
Those baskets actually are from Senegal.
Oh, I oh, okay.
And it's funny, I ordered them last year
Right.
through a young lady who was starting
Right.
a company. And she shipped it from Senegal to New York, and now I'm bringing
And
it.
you're, oh my god.
But I was in love with them so much.
They're
So
pretty.
yes, from
They're
Senegal.
lovely.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. They look like something you would find in the northern region.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you go to Bolga, they call these things Bolga baskets.
Okay.
They like that color, and it's very similar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
very similar.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
if you're
I love
ever
them.
traveling far west, Cape Coast, Takoradi, and you want to like pit stop here and sleep, you're more than welcome. And this is our office.
You have an office set up.
Yeah.
Nice.
People don't want to know all the time that I'm spending in here. Too much time,
Too
but
much time.
when we need to do something.
His and hers. Hers and his.
Yeah, yeah.
You can
What
see
is this thing?
My favorite one is at the bottom, the second line to the bottom.
Sketch.
No, the next one.
The problem contains the solution.
That's my favorite one.
Think about all the possibilities.
Yeah.
And our map of Ghana. You didn't show them your map.
that too.
We're trying to learn all of the places in Ghana and realizing that we're only in this level.
Little
Well, not
piece.
even over here somewhere.
Yeah, an empty room. Okay.
But it's where we're convincing my mother to come live with us.
Okay.
So she'll have a room there.
Yeah. How's that going? Is she convinced yet?
Well, this is the thing. Our parents took the news, I would say, not so well.
When you said you were moving.
When we booked to eat, right.
Oh.
I wouldn't say not so well. They were shocked.
Okay.
They weren't super enthusiastic, but they've warmed up,
to it,
right?
yeah.
And so her mother and father, they have a complete life set up. They're, set in Queens. But my mother doesn't have anyone, and we're close. And so there's a good chance that she can come stay with us.
with you,
Just
yeah.
want to make sure that her health
Yes.
is taken care of here, medications, doctors, etc.
Yeah.
Which everything is here. Americans need to be convinced that everything is
It's
here.
here, yeah.
So this
About
is
finding it, isn't it?
this is our bedroom. Nice, spacious.
Yeah.
I guess-
Another painting, the last
Oh,
one.
one of
That's
her
my
other
favorite.
paintings.
Yeah, that's how I look in bed when I'm about to go to sleep. You know how we do.
Who's working out?
Oh, that's where I work out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Usually when the sun sets a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this is the balcony.
You guys have a huge.
It's kind of like my side, her side, kind of.
Right.
She does her yoga stuff here. She is starting her little.
Yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along.
Yeah.
So this is where we were before, where we invite people and we hang out. So.
And this is your side.
This is kind of my side, which she has permission to use.
But I care for a lot of this side.
Yeah,
because
I pick the plants and she takes care of the plants.
Yeah, they're still babies, so they're kind of still in the growing stages right now.
Yeah, even though it's an apartment, it's still
Right.
Yeah, we open every window in the mornings. Windows, doors, just everything.
Yeah.
Bugs or no bugs, let them.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on the channel. Thank you for showing me your lovely house. So nice to meet you guys. Very, very happy that you shared your story with my subscribers. So all their information will be in the description box below if you want to contact Deisa and Dale. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up so I know you want to see more content like this. Don't forget to follow your bliss. So now life is short. Follow your bliss. Na di paeding. Follow your bliss. Na di besibiaye. And follow your bliss. Na di nemaga. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.